Nevada County, it's your friendly neighborhood political correspondent. Here at Nevada County Media, I aim to educate and empower voters by interviewing local political leaders. My guest today is Nevada County Clerk Recorder and Registrar of Voters, Natalie Adona. Hi, Ms. Adona. Thanks for being here.
Hi.
So tell me, how's your fall going?
I think it's going pretty well. As you probably know, we are well underway for the election, and all of the pieces are really falling into place, and I feel like the process is going quite smoothly.
That's really cool. Good to hear. But before I go into that, I want to ask you, are you a pumpkin spice person?
I am not a pumpkin spice person. I like many things, but the pumpkin spice, it's been a little overwhelming.
A little overwhelming?
Yeah, I gotta say.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, okay. Just wanted to get that out of the way about fall.
But I like pumpkin.
Yeah?
And I like spice.
Yeah?
Just maybe not together.
Okay. Sounds
Not so
good.
much.
All right. Well, so back to the election. Thank you so much for being here. We're really excited to have you, especially since I believe the election is tomorrow. Mm-hmm. So tell me about what you and your team have been up to. Are you busy?
Oh, yeah. You know, there is a lot of excitement with any general election, but, you know, with this election in particular, we've got a lot of interest. We've also got a lot of scrutiny on what we do. So, you know, throughout the process of having this election come together, me and my staff have done a lot to prepare for this moment. You know, think about a presidential general election as the elections officials' Super Bowl. We do a lot of planning, and we make sure that everything runs as smoothly as possible. You know, of course, there's always hiccups along the way, but, you know, we are trained to adapt and adjust, and, you know, we do our best to meet voters' needs every single day.
Yeah. So is tomorrow going to be a busy day for you?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It's going to be a long day, too. So the polls open at 7 a.m. and they close at 8 p.m. We get there an hour beforehand, and we leave until we are finished for the evening. And what that means is we have to report the unofficial results of the election. That's all of the vote by mail ballots that we have counted so far. So thank you to everybody who voted early. And we also have to collect all of the results from all of the voting locations. There's 9 for this election. And we are typically waiting for our Truckee area results to come. Donner Pass is sometimes a little challenging to get through.
I wonder why.
It is notoriously difficult to get through Donner Pass, and I think people know the reasons why.
Oh, okay. I thought you meant like the ballots, like, I don't know, like wouldn't like arrive later. Or,
Well, you know, I mean, I think distance is one thing, but, you know, just the fact that the pass is so hard to just get through even in a vehicle.
You're talking about physically.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. You know, I mean, we bring a whole bunch of stuff back. We have vans that we get from the county to bring everything back and to do it efficiently. But, you know, sometimes the weather has surprised us.
Wow. So how many miles do you put on your vehicle on election day typically?
I don't even bother counting.
Wow.
We're just everywhere.
Yeah. So do you, as the registrar of voters, like, do you have to be on site at every site? Do you kind of go check in? Do you do rounds or?
Well, you know, I don't have to, but I do like to see what people are doing. And, you know, I think the election workers, they work really hard to try to meet voter needs. And, you know, sometimes people come to the vote center and they have some issues that need to be resolved. And so, you know, I think that it's nice to be able to say, hey, you know, I'm here. I acknowledge you, you know, thank you for everything that you do. Thank you for being here all day. Mm-hmm. And in a lot of cases, they're there for multiple days. Some of them have been serving for, you know, up to 11 days. Mm-hmm. So it is, you know, so quite a hard time sometimes, especially when you have a string of voters who all have issues and maybe they're not so happy. And, you know, our reward is that the voter leaves getting what they need. And, you know, the poll workers they're not paid that much. So I like to make sure that they're doing okay, and if they have any feedback, that they're able to give it to me directly. So yeah, and I enjoy it too.
Yeah. So how big is the staff that you have year round, and then how big is your poll worker staff?
So we've got 10 people in my office altogether. 4 are clerk recorders, so I wear 2 hats in the office. I'm the county clerk and recorder that deals with all your official records, like your vitals and recording deeds and stuff like that. But on the election side, we've got 3 permanent people who are dedicated to just that, and then there's another 3 of us who do a bit of both. That is, sort of just the core group of people. And then, as far as our temporary workers, we've got about 15 that we onboard. And for our people who serve in the voting locations, it can be, depending on the election, it can be anywhere from 50 to 90 people that we get on board. I believe for this election, we've got about 70 or 80, something like that.
Yeah, okay. So is everybody feeling pretty good about the election coming up?
I think so.
Yeah.
I think we'll feel even better when it's over.
Yeah.
And I only say that because we've been talking about the election for so long. It feels like forever.
Yeah.
Most people don't know that we start planning for every election a year or more in advance. So for us, it's just been ongoing. And I'm sure for voters who really don't have an inside look at our office, but only get election information from the news, it feels like it's been chaos. So I think we'll all be kind of glad for this to be in our rear views, package it up all nice, put a bow on it, and move on to 2025.
Yeah. So who's in charge of counting the ballots and overseeing the count?
I am.
You do. You are. So, and then do you any temporary poll workers do any of that stuff, or is it all your permanent staff, or is it you?
So in Nevada County, anywhere between 90 and 94% of returns that we get are vote by mail returns.
90 to 94. Wow.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. That's been the trend. We'll sort of see how it plays out for this election, but I think we're well on our way. And so if the great majority of ballots are put through our central tabulation at our main office, and that is permanent staff that are doing that with support and help from our temps. But the ballots that are cast in voting locations, the voters cast that themselves. They have an in-precinct scanner that they can use to put their own ballot in there. And our poll workers, they make sure that everything balances out at the end of the night and that everything's accounted for, and then get up and do it the next day.
Okay, so far you talked about voting by mail. So that's you receive your ballot in the mail, and then you put it in the mailbox. You can vote on site on election day. So tell me about the other ways people can vote.
Yeah, so when I use word vote by mail, I'm sort of, it's not quite fair because I'm using it a little bit generically. So a great many people choose to vote at home and then they'll put their ballot through the mailbox. But some people would like to use our official drop boxes. We've got several around the county. If you go to our website, then you can see what all the locations are and what the hours are. So a great majority of them are in our grocery stores. We've got 2 that are outside, one outside of the Rood Center and one outside of Truckee Town Hall. You can actually even, if you wanted to, get your vote by mail ballot in the mail and bring it to a voting location and either drop it off there, or you can check in and actually put that ballot through the scanner if you wanted to.
Oh, wow.
And yeah, some people have exercised that option. And I think it's good for us because it's one less piece of mail that we have to process. It does take a longer time to verify a vote by mail ballot. But I think that the great thing about our system of voting here is that I rarely have to say no to a voter.
That's good. Yeah. So let's say someone puts their ballot in the actual mail on election day.
Yeah.
So it's postmarked on election day. How long do you give that ballot to arrive at your office and be counted?
Okay, so I'm going to roll back just a little bit,
Please.
Because I think it's important for people to understand that if you choose to return a vote by mail ballot on election day, And if you choose to use the United States Postal Service, please check the collection time on that box. Because sometimes the collection time is well before polls close. So, I mean, if you are bringing your ballot to a receptacle at 2 p.m., but the collection time was 9 a.m., it's going to be late.
Okay, and then it won't be counted?
It won't be postmarked in time.
Okay.
And so when you send a ballot through the mail, we need to have that postmark be on or before Election Day. And so if it is postmarked in a timely way, then we have up to 7 days to receive that piece of mail in order to be able to lawfully count it.
Okay.
Now, sometimes people send their ballots through the mail or through the drop box and they forget to sign, or sometimes their signature does not compare because in most cases they've had a catastrophic medical event that has dramatically changed their signature. Actually, that happened to my grandmother. She had a stroke quite a few months back. And, I used to brag that my grandmother had the most consistent signature ever. Like, she took the time to kind of sit down and draw it out exactly the same every single time.
Wow.
But then she had the stroke, and now her signature, I mean, she tries, but it's, a lot smaller than it used to be. The words are a lot closer, or the letters, rather, are a lot closer together. And, those are a couple of the things that we look at when we are examining signatures, where we see, okay, well, this signature does not compare. Let's reach out to the voter, and the voter will either let us know, yes, my signature has changed. Can I update it? And of course they can. Or if it's radically different, we'll verify with them, and they're like, that wasn't me. And then we would, sort of provide that piece of evidence over to law enforcement, and they would sort of take it from there.
Wow.
But, the great majority of the time, it's somebody who, maybe their signature changed and they just need an opportunity to update, or they just forgot.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, well, I can't open this because I have nothing to compare it to.
Right. That's interesting. So if somebody needs to update their signature, they just contact your office and say
Well,
that?
we will contact them. Within 24 hours, we need to send them a letter that says, hey, we tried to examine your signature. It did not match, or the signature was missing. And we'll give them directions on how to cure that defect. And actually, for this election, and this election only, as far as I know, we have to wait until December 1st to collect all of those cure letters, and then we will certify on December 3rd. So in the past, we've been able to certify a little bit sooner than that, and in general elections, we've successfully been able to certify before the Thanksgiving holiday. This time, by law, we have to wait. The only situation where we would not have to wait is everyone turns in their cure letter, and that almost never happens. So, since I've been at Nevada County, there's been roughly 500 to 600 examples of people needing to cure their signature, and we get like 50% response.
Really?
Yeah, from people, but some folks, maybe they go out of town and we can't contact them, or their voter registration does not have an email address or a phone number. So there's really no other way for us to do it other than to contact them by mail. And some people, frankly, were just like, well, I already voted, so whatever.
Yeah. Well, it sounds like a personal touch.
Well, yeah. I mean, we care a lot about, making sure that everyone's ballot gets counted to the fullest extent of the law that is allowable. And, what I tell people who kind of tease me a little bit when I get excited to see people voting early and, getting excited about the election, I'm like, look, one, I'm a nerd. Two, we don't go through all of this planning and, all of this, sort of detailed step-by-step process of making sure that an election happens just for nobody to show up. I want people to show up. I want people to vote. I don't care who you vote for, just vote.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's see. I think that's all the time we've got today. But thank you so much. Good luck tomorrow.
Oh yeah, I mean, I think we're going to have a smooth election.
Yeah, I think so too. Yeah, and if people would like to get a hold of you, how can they do that?
Absolutely. So, our main office is at 950 Maidu Avenue, Suite 210 in Nevada City. You can stop by in person, especially if you want to observe the election. I always am excited to see visitors.
Oh, great.
You can also call us at 530-265-1298 during business hours. Obviously on election day, we'll be open longer than that. Or you could email us elections.mail@nevadacountyca.gov.
Okay, that sounds good. It sounds like December 3rd is a big day for you, and after that you can go on vacation? Maybe?
Yes. What's vacation? Wouldn't that be nice?
Yeah. So if you'd like more information, as Ms. Adona said, if you'd like more information about the Nevada County Elections Office and its work in Nevada County, to visit nevadacountyca.gov, and it's there. I believe you can also find all of the places you can drop off your ballot if you haven't done so yet. And if you have any feedback on this piece, please email me at ncnpolitics@gmail.com. It has been my privilege to be with you today. And remember, when it comes to politics, if you're not at the table, you might be on the menu. Thank you so much, Natalie Adona, a Nevada County Clerk Recorder and Registrar of Voters. And thanks for staying informed, Nevada County. I'll see you soon with another special guest.